I got a ping this morning from a sailor looking for crew to help move his boat from a slip in Sausalito to a slip in Alameda. So he was like, hey, are you still there? Are you still willing to crew? So I'm like, yep, still here, available. What do you got? We spoke on the phone, made sure we were both compatible with our expectations, and I'm going to help him move his boat today. So I'm through San Francisco, crossing the Golden Gate now. I'm going to be in Sausalito in just a couple of minutes. And we'll sail it on over past Alcatraz, under the Oakland Bay Bridge, and get him to Alameda. Sea date 2016-0129. Just arrived at Horseshoe Bay, South Sausalito, right on the other side of the Golden Gate, North Tower. Going to join Richard moving his boat from Horseshoe Bay over to Alameda. A little less windy over there. Sometimes it's difficult for him to dock here. And for the jib, do you want any adjustment on that? It's actually looking pretty full.
Yeah, it's okay.
I think it's got a good shape.
Can you tighten up that main just in here? I don't want it to tap over. Just give me 2 feet tighter. There we go. We're going to start to heat it a little. Please tighten the main.
Tightening the main.
And we're going to jibe now.
Okay. It'll catch in just a second here. There it is. There we go.
A good shape for the sail.
Agreed.
Best we can do with some weird wind. Not really consistent. It's not really tough.
You know, my wife took the sailing class with me.
Oh, nice.
So
do it together, really.
she's certified 101. She didn't take cruising with me.
Really only one of you need to.
She's got, you know, the new granddaughter, and that's where she is today.
Oh, nice.
She's up in Marin with the...
Sorry. That's the art museum right behind us.
Yeah, isn't that beautiful, that dome?
Yeah.
Looks like Gotham City, doesn't it?
Totally.
At night, this whole city looks like Gotham City.
No. So what's up with over there? Is that like a suburb or something?
Is it what?
All the houses crammed.
San Francisco.
People like to live that way. That's,
You ever been there?
Johan, remember when I say I go into the city to work? That's the city that I go in to work sometimes.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I would never want to live there, but a lot of people like it for lots of reasons. It's really gay friendly for gay and lesbian communities. It's really accessible for disabled people with the Muni Transit and BART, and you know, so there's
Lots
a lot
of
good
food.
Yeah, great restaurants.
Lots of shopping.
I hate going.
They got the best stores.
I used to hate going
Can you
shopping.
open that up a little bit?
Are we? Yeah.
Yeah, so Johan, move your hand. So there's lots of reasons that people like to live there. I personally.
How's that, Richard? We good?
I'm gonna have to jive again. Get back on there. Right now, you know what though? As buddy sailing goes, we're doing a nice job of zigzagging around them, and they're doing a nice job of zigzagging around us. So we always maintain right of way. So we're doing all right.
Yeah, I think we're doing awesome.
Just we don't have enough wind coming this way. Right? We don't hold like that.
No.
Like that fast.
In a
This is
hurricane.
like carbon fiber everything there.
Carbon fiber, those sails are Kevlar, and
Does that cost much?
the thing weighs as much as I do, probably.
Yeah.
So let's prepare to jibe again.
Yeah.
Ready to jibe.
Ready to die.
Right, jibing.
Coming in on the main.
Holy cow. Is that good or bad?
That's good. So what we're going to do is, with the water as it's coming, you're kind of bounce with the waves and roughly keep it going that direction. So, ready? Don't turn too far, really small adjustments. So it looks like our jib's doing all right.
Yeah, I was just admiring the shape. It's awesome.
So what?
Johan, do you see the shape of the jib right there? See how nice and billowy and full it is?
So the wind's totally just pushing us along.
So Dad, can you turn so hard we actually almost broke?
Oh,
Uh-oh.
not really.
We're turning.
I mean, yes.
Uh-oh. Come on. There we go.
Some luncheon-
Sorry, I got a little tiller happy there. See, I got mixed up.
Get used to it, yeah.
Because all the boats that I've rented have been tiller. And I just started on a wheel last
So
Sunday.
It's just like a car again, but it's
Sunday was my first wheel. So I have to remember, not a tiller. I don't like the tiller, by the way, so I prefer the wheel.
It's a famous lawsuit about someone who was soloing and took a quick cat nap. The nature of solo sailing in itself is a negligent behavior. So if you're in an accident and you're soloing, you're always responsible.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest ruling that really affects us is that even if you're a competent solo sailor, the act of soloing is itself a negligent act. I mean, by legal standards. So I'm only idling here, just giving it a little bit of motor control, just in case. You know, the depth is kind of shallow here. It's 5 feet below the keel here.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's a sort of a funky spot.
Can you re-aim me?
Actually, basically, there.
So it's pointing straight?
Yeah.
We're at 5 feet, huh?
So here?
That's the tower? It's called the Coit Tower. It's a giant fire hose coupling. No one in my family has seafared. Except my wife's dad and grandpa had boats. So when I mentioned that I was interested, she's like, oh yeah, my dad will tell you everything you need to know. And so she was very supportive.
Yeah, same with ours. My wife, I kind of casually mentioned it a few times. I said, you know, with Pat and John, you know, when we were in Mexico, and God, she fell in love with the water. She's like, I would love to have a boat. And I said, well, you know, it's not that expensive. And then, by the way, my friend Steve is selling this boat, and it's really great. Blah blah blah. Let's go spend the night on it one night. And that's what did it. Waking up in the morning and seeing that view, she said, yeah, I'll take it. I didn't think she was going to be involved in helping me pay for it. I thought I was just going to do it, or I was, going to get a line of credit or something. She goes, you know what, I'll give you cash today.
Motoring.
So I'm motoring at like a quarter power right now. We could go faster, but I'm about half speed now. I'll go a little faster.
This is so funny because it's usually pretty windy here.
This is where the wind picks back up again.
What kind of boat is Roy's?
I only spent $78,000 for that boat, as is.
It's wood, huh?
It's all wood, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so you know where it is? Yes, sir. Oh, you got it? Yeah. Are you going to go back? It's kind of dead out here. I wouldn't stay out if I were you. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. You guys have fun and be safe. Go ahead and say bye to Roy.
Bye.
We're not going to see him for a while, buddy, because we're moving our boat. I want to say our farewell there.
My interest started in July. Well, I've always been interested in the sea and ocean and beach and all that. But in July, we went to a wedding on a lake, and we went out on a couple of different power boats. And I was telling my wife, you know what, we need a boat. You know, and she said, oh, that'd be great. My dad would love to tell you what he knows. And then we went to Hawaii like a couple months later, and I'm like, hey, let's get a boat, you know. But we couldn't really rent one because we don't have the experience. You know, I can't prove that I know what to do.
Right.
You know, and the guy can ask you a few questions and know you're bullshitting him or know that you know what you're talking about. So we had to hire a captain. We still got the boat. We hired a captain. We were out all day. It was great. Mm-hmm. But then when we got home, it was like, let's take a class so that next time we're on vacation, we can just charter a boat, take it out, and we know what to do. And then it was...
I have mixed feelings about that. I'll be honest with you, though. I have mixed feelings because I did some of the math, and I'm thinking, okay, if I spent... It's $4,500 to get to the level that you need to, you know, with all the classes.
Here. In Santa Barbara, where I took classes, my dad's down there, so I go down there a lot.
Oh, so
Half the price of Sausalito.
if you're already there, then you're
And they'll let you stay on the boat if you're out of town.
okay. Well, it's
Free
the price of
lodging.
hotel. Okay, well that makes sense now.
Free lodging.
Free lodging and some classes, or
Half
or
price.
Free classes with the price of lodging.
And my monthly club fee is $28. This would be one of the very few days that you could glide around on a speedboat. Usually there's so much swell and white cap that
I got about 200 feet of rope, in addition to about 75 feet of chain. That's
yeah, depth is shallow.
So I'm going to stay to the. I'll lock it in place. Nice and easy, right?
Easy.
It doesn't get much easier.
With your 6-foot keel, you wouldn't want to be over on his starboard. You don't,
Yeah, no, that's fine here.
because it goes down to 4 feet over there. So yeah, stick close to the rocks. Glad we're not being pushed that way. It's not a leeward shore, is that what they call it?
This is leeward shore.
So we've just passed the shallowest spot.
Yeah.
So now the rest is like, says 8 feet.
Yeah, all these boats are so much bigger than mine. If they're here, I'm okay.
Yeah, so the wind picked up, it just got cold.
And the nice thing, I love docking into the wind because you can just hover into it. You don't have to fight it. You don't have to, you know what I mean? You have to fight to get there instead of fight to slow down.
Right.
And I've got this getting there than trying to rein it in. Right here.
There's 142. Wow. Yeah. Yeah, see, that's dangerous though, because that boom is going to smack someone in the skull.
I always flip mine above my head.
Yeah, this big one would work for me. It's got to have the saloon kitchen, because some of them have a kitchen in one of the hulls.
Yeah.
Deborah doesn't want that. She wants the kitchen up top. She's got the view. So we're going to go to port or starboard?
Oh, I'm going to dock it.
Okay.
So, Katrina, can you and Steve be ready to jump off and grab bow lines?
We pulled Richard's boat, Fearless, into Ballina Bay in Alameda. Richard and I got along well, and we end up getting together again, so be on the lookout for more sailing with Richard.
Next time on Click Boom Sail.
There's Richard.
Hey.
There's the naval station over there. Scary ass view bearing down on us.
Right?
Spank me.